the Nike Zoom Fly 6 at 350 plus miles. That's a lot of miles. One might ask, is it time to retire the shoe, or do we have any sort of life left in this thing? Let's find out. Let's talk about it. So before we get into the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're subscribed watching content, thanks so much. I love you guys a lot. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Strava for all sorts of other details and updates. So without further ado, let's begin. Specs of the shoe, somewhere where you can see them. And let's take a look at these outsoles. 350 plus miles. You would look at some of the rubber segments on the shoe, and you would wonder if I was lying by any chance. And the reason I say that is because I'm even baffled at how well it looks compared to most of my other running shoes that have sort of this more tempo to track style, I guess, pipeline I run through the shoes through. And this one has been mostly on track. It has been on road whenever I needed to do a tempo type of workout, and it doesn't look too bad. And that could be for a multitude of reasons. One, it could be a running form thing. Two, it could be mostly because Nike has chosen to use a stronger material to protect the shoe's overall rubber content. So it might be carbon infused, there might be some kind of nylon infusion. It's hard to say. I didn't really research that, but I know that this is a common practice with a lot of companies to infuse this rubber material with some other compounds. So if you guys have an answer for it, sound off in the comments. You know, if you want to do some deep research on what Nike has been brewing with this, because this sort of wear is not normal at 300 plus miles in my case. Now, I know a lot of you guys, you've sent me pictures on Instagram of your shoes at like 500, 600, 700 miles, and they look great because you have like great midfoot strikes. You're not super aggressive in your shoe. You have a really good running form, so that's a thumbs up to you guys. I just know that I'm pretty dumb when it comes to running and beating these things up, and that's why I like to analyze them every 50 miles to see how bad things get. But let's get back to the point, right? Right now, the rubber is in great shape. The foam is fatiguing quite badly across the shoe. But again, we're at 350 plus miles. This is expected. This is our ZoomX compound on the bottom, and then we have our React compound on top. React is also taken a bit of a beating, but the most important question we have to ask with the React is actually... Sorry, I just totally blanked. It's ZoomX on the top, React on the bottom, or the EV8 React as we see it there. The ZoomX is fatiguing because it's a lot softer, more responsive, bouncier foam on the shoe. And then the React is the one that takes more of a beating, right? So when the two foams work together with that carbon plate sandwiched in the middle, our fly plate there, does the shoe exhibit stress on you at a higher level than it did when I first started running in the shoe? And the question is a little bit yes, because the ZoomX is worn out pretty badly, so it kind of sinks a lot more when I'm running in it. The React is not as protective when it comes to the surface of the ground, to the joints on my body, to the carbon plate. So I am sinking a little bit more in the shoe. The stack height has probably shrunk a little bit since then because the foam is just naturally fatigued to that point. And as a result, there's a lot more stiffness in the shoe. But now when you're doing something a little bit more like a track workout where there isn't a lot of elevation and you only have realistically just one kind of turn you do on the road and the surface doesn't change too much, you can get away with a little more, I think. Now, it won't be like the perfect track or tempo workout, but like I said, you can kind of slide away with a little bit more in that case. That being said, I haven't used this shoe for a track workout in a little while. I've tried it for some tempo sessions, but like I said, it's quite stiff, it's quite beaten up. I think the shoe will probably end up capping for me personally at about 400 plus miles. I only say that because I'm still using this shoe for my tempo and track workouts in tandem with the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus, which I brought back into my shoe lineup for those track workouts. Trying to exclude it from racing for now just because I'm still a little traumatized by that shoe from the last race I did in it. I ended up hurting my foot like really bad, breaking a callus, etc. Doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about that right now. Other things to consider here is the shoe is not super breathable, so like once you use it, it's hard to kind of get the moisture out of the shoe after your run, unless, again, you live in a drier climate where you would be able to just put it outside, let it kind of dry out, let the water be absorbed by the dry air that you may be around. In my case, I live in the Midwest. It's quite humid right now. It's like super hot outside. The shoe just doesn't dry off very well, which is expected, right? Especially if I have like a multiple shoe lineup, you can use this shoe and then use like a recovery shoe or another speed shoe if you're trying to do a 2-a-day threshold session. It's up to you, right? That being said, I think keeping it short and sweet, realistically, I would say I've probably got like 50 more miles in this shoe, but if you're a little bit more of, I would say, a heavier set runner than me, and you're using the Zoomfly 6 for any workouts, and you have sort of the same looking wear and tear, you're about the same mileage, I would consider strongly, depending on your running form, again, you are the judge of that, I would say it would be probably a good time to hang up the shoe at this time or get a new one, try to shuffle something new, or if you didn't like the shoe as in a position where you didn't want to buy another one, you go, thank you, next, like, by all means, that's where I would say I'd like draw the line here at 350 miles. If your Zoom X is looking this tattered, beaten up, and you feel like there's stiffness, which is kind of rolling up into your ankles as you're running, because that's where I'm experiencing most of my soreness now is I'm feeling sort of that impact in the ankles, and it's just like whenever I try to like pivot my foot like left and right, like pronate and supinate, I do feel a bit of soreness there. So that's just something I'm noticing a lot more with this particular shoe, but it's had a good run since then, so I will use this for maybe like 1 or 2 more track workouts before I think I just cut it with this shoe and we simply just call it a day. And I think that's where we'll leave it at for now. So if you have any other questions, comments, thoughts, concerns about the Zoomfly 6, let me know in the comments below. If you got a shoe I should try to substitute, or when I retire this thing, what's the next everyday racer shoe that I'm bringing into my lineup, let me know what else we should check out on the channel. And yeah, excited to see what you guys come up with there. But yeah, the Zoomfly 6 has overall surprised me a lot from the Nike brand in terms of speed shoes, because I remember the Zoomfly 5 being this like brick of a shoe that just did not do at all what I wanted to do, and the Zoomfly 6 was a turn in the right direction for me, and I've been very happy with the shoe's performance and its overall lifespan at this point, right? So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.